Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce the release of my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. If you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level in 2021, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome one and all. I'm very grateful that you have joined me today on this beautiful day. Today, I thought it would be really fun to continue kind of what I did last Thursday when a crystal came up in my mind. It came up again, and I thought, well, maybe it would be fun to do a crystal every Thursday. And also today, I thought before we shared the crystal that I would just talk a little bit about crystals, because I feel like crystals really need more recognition than they get. We often look at them as these beautiful gems, and we know that they have power, but we also love them and adore them in this way that we buy them as almost trinkets, and we put them up on our shelves to look at, and we think they're pretty and we adore them. And while that's okay, what the crystals would really prefer us to do is to appreciate them for their individual natures as living beings, because they are living beings. And each one has its own individual energy to it. And in order to work with the energy of the crystal, it's really important to sit with it, to understand it, to connect with it as a being, and to talk to it, and to ask it questions. Ask it what it has to tell you. Ask it what benefits it has. Ask it how you can benefit it, right? It's a mutual relationship, always, you and your crystals. And the more you see them as living beings and respect them and be grateful to them for what they really are and the power that they hold, then they're even more powerful. When you work with them, they work with you. I think crystals are one of our most powerful tools, and they really are one of our most powerful tools if you think about all the technology that we have that uses crystals. Well, in ancient times, they learned how to use crystal technology in a way that turned out to be detrimental in a lot of cases. Some used it for good, and some used it for detriment. And so I think it's really important that when we're working with crystals that we really understand how powerful that they are and work with them properly by sitting with them and getting to know them and understanding them and talking to them. They do communicate. My daughter, I'll tell you this little story. When she was a little one, I don't remember how old, but probably not that little, maybe 7 or 8. Still little, but she's always been a crystal lover. Take this kid to a crystal store and I can't get her out. She's just fascinated, and the energy really is super intense for her. And so we always buy crystals wherever we go because she's so fascinated with them, because she does make this connection to them. And I asked her one time when she was around this age, I said, how do you know which ones that you want to bring home with you? Or which one? And she said, well, they talk to me, Mom. And I said, oh, really? How do they do that? She said, I just hear them. That simple. And that's how it works. You just hear them. You hear them in your mind's ear, in your mind. That's the way they talk to you. And so if you just ask and quiet and listen, you might be surprised what they tell you. And so with that being said, the crystal that I'm going to talk about today is lapis lazuli. I figured I would pick a lot of my favorite crystals and the ones that I was first attracted to when I started to want to share my life with these beings. So lapis lazuli is definitely a very special one for me. And I sat with this stone before we started. And of course, I've had this stone for quite some time and I've sat with it before. But it has been a while. And I don't keep this information in my brain either. Not all of it. Einstein once said that all of the information that you can actually look up, it's no point in leaving it in your brain because it's just kind of like taking up space. And I think I do that a lot. I think I just don't allow the space for that kind of stuff. The things that I can look up or just ask myself in that present moment, which is what I did today. I wanted to see what the stone was going to tell us today. And what I got from this one today is our connection to the all, to the everything. The fact that we are one little spark in this grand continuum of infinitum, of the Creator's creation. And there is not a single one of us here who is not connected throughout that continuum. And also, what it reminded me of when I sat with it, I immediately wanted to put it at my heart center and then at my third eye. And what I felt there was this connection of these two aspects of my being, mind and heart, and the importance of integrating those two aspects. And we can talk about two aspects in so many different ways. We can call it the masculine and feminine, the yin and yang, the mind and the heart. However you want to look at it, just uniting these aspects within ourselves, which, as I say this, what I think about is also that unification within ourselves, that understanding that we are one with it all, that there is absolutely zero separation here. None. It's just an illusion that exists in our minds. And when we can have the understanding in our hearts that is just the illusion here to help us see through it and to really understand through the contrast, because that's how we learn. And when we can see through it and unite that concept that we really are connected to everything and there is no separation here, then our vibration raises so high and we live in this constant state of heart-centeredness in knowing that every single one, every single other is really just another self. It's a beautiful thing to see and a great exercise to practice every single day. You can do this at the grocery store, at the gas station, wherever you find yourself waiting in line somewhere. Look at all of the other selves around you and say to yourself, you are another me. Every single one of those people. And really feel that is another you. And sometimes you might not really like what you see or you might judge it. And you can look into the reasons for that within yourself. This exercise can continue on, but it's a really beautiful exercise to really remind yourself of your connection to everything, to all that there is.
Before we continue on with today's episode, I'd like to take a moment to share an exciting new development in my world that can benefit those of you who are ready to get out there and travel. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, at some point you have most likely heard me talk about my personal hero's journey tale regarding the Inc. fastest growing private travel company I co-founded that imploded back in 2015. Well, out of the ashes of that challenging lesson, my brother and I started a new travel company called Hello Vacay. And an exciting new chapter has just unfolded in my travel company saga as Hello Vacay recently secured a huge partnership with the world's largest online travel agency, Priceline. Essentially, due to our past success working with them all those years ago, they have agreed to give us access to their deeply discounted private wholesale booking rates. Our new site, hellovacay.com, is sort of like the Costco for hotel and alternate accommodations because it allows anyone to get access to these wholesale rates, which are up to 50% off the normal booking rates you'll find on all the other major online travel sites. The only caveat is that Priceline won't let us display these rates publicly because they are so much lower than even what you would see at Priceline.com. So to offer them, they insisted that we have a paid membership for people to get access to these much lower rates. And since I appreciate all of your ongoing support as I've continued to share the updates on my entrepreneurial journey over the years, I originally announced that we would give you all 50% off the normal membership fee of $79 a year. However, after talking to my brother more about it, I convinced him to give all of you 100% free access for the first year when you go to hellovacay.com and use the code PHFreeYear at checkout for the yearly plan. And be sure to choose the yearly plan, not monthly, when you're signing up to get the full free year access. Once you're a member, you'll see that the discounts vary from city to city and season to season. But if you're traveling with any regularity, your savings will easily add up to hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year. I personally saved over $200 in one weekend when I went to Seattle not too long ago. Also, I'm honestly not sure how long my brother will agree to allow me to run this free year offer. So if you plan to travel at all in the coming year, be sure to go to hellovacay.com, spelled HELLOVACAY.com, and use the code PHFreeYear to take advantage and get free access to wholesale travel booking rates. Journey well, everyone.
All right. I'm going to read about lapis lazuli from the same book that I read last week that I called the Crystal Bible, because that's what Paul the Crystal Guy called it. And since I think he is amazing, then that's what I call it. So this book is called Love is in the Earth, A Kaleidoscope of Crystals. And this is the updated version. And I think the author is Melody. And so here's what she has to say about lapis lazuli. It is a stone said to have existed since before time was born, assisting one in gaining admission to the domain of the unknown mysteries of the sacred text and the esoteric ideas, and enhancing the wisdom to understand the information. It further allows one to gain access to and to explore the esoteric planetary knowledge. The Afghan lapis has been likened to the night sky, bedecked with stars. It promotes the connection between the physical plane and the celestial kingdom. It represents the forces of initiation into wisdom and the mystical realm. Lapis provides for activation and energizing of the throat and brow chakras. The crystalline structure further clears these chakras and provides for unification of all the chakras for the purpose of maintaining the perfection within the person. Lapis lazuli is a stone of total awareness, helping to expand awareness and intellectual capacity, and allowing for conscious attunement to the intuitive and psychic aspects of one's nature. It also helps one to remain objective about the subjective, providing for stimulus to the process of reasoning and reinforcing the acceptance of subsequent knowledge. It enables one to obtain relief from that which has been pressed into the shallow recesses of the mind, providing objectivity, clarity, and mental endurance during the release of emotional bondage. It helps for the diminishment of the internal smoldering fire which leads to disease. It stimulates the communicative facets of the self, providing for clarity and responsiveness during the release of information. It assists one in the attunement to the creative source, stimulating the expansion and the realization of consciousness toward the awakening of the perfection of the self. It promotes the insight to a structured plan which can help one to evolve upward toward the light of the total unification with all that is. Sure does, right? Didn't I just say that? Lapis can be placed over the third eye to aid one in developing insight into one's own dreams. It assists in providing a connection with the dream forces, which are working to both guide and counsel one during altered states. It helps to stimulate emotional, mental, and physical purity and clarity, supporting one's courage in activities, culminating in the advancement towards universal wisdom. It can assist one in the organization of one's life and in the routine day-to-day activities in which one is involved. It is said to have been one of the stones used in the breastplate of the high priest. It helps one to overcome depression and enhances the states of serenity and self-acceptance. It is said to bring cheer to the user and to bring success in relationships. It has been used to further the connectedness between the male and female attributes of this plane. It assists in balancing the yin and yang energies, focusing on the optimum equilibrium during each situation or circumstance of which one is a participant. See, they talk. They certainly do. It has also been used as a protective stone, sheltering the wearer or carrier from physical danger and psychic attack. Lapis and rutilated topaz have been used together to both shield and build the aura. One method of combining the minerals is via elixir. Another method is to use one mineral as an elixir and to carry or wear the other. A third method is to wear both minerals. The reader is encouraged to both explore and discover other techniques which are conducive to personal fulfillment. Lapis can be used in the treatment of disorders of the throat, bone marrow, thymus, and immune system. It can help to relieve the symptoms of insomnia, vertigo, and dizziness. It can assist in preventing and in rectifying RNA, DNA damage. It has been used to activate the regenerative energies within the body. It can be used to stimulate cellular restructuring with respect to both hearing loss and the eustachian tube. In addition, the crystalline form of lapis can be used to access the energy to sustain health and to restructure cellular, muscular, and skeletal disorders. I really, really like that because you want to know why? The crystal's not doing that for you. What it's doing is encouraging an energy within you. And it's the same energy that we were talking about before I actually read about this. That energy of your connectedness, that understanding that you are one with it all, that allows you to live more in your heart center when you integrate all of this knowingness. And in that, your vibration raises. And in your vibration rising, your health also improves. Because the only reason why we ever get sick in the first place is because we're out of alignment. And so when we get ourselves back into alignment, back into our heart center, where we are vibrating so high that none of these little bugs can even come close to touching us. They scoot far, far away, want nothing to do with this super bright energy. They can't tolerate it. Disease, illness, bugs, whatever it may be, cannot exist in a vibration so high. None of it can exist because the only purpose for it is to help you learn. And once you've learned, no reason. So there it goes. Nice and simple. Simple because healing happens that instantaneously when we have the understanding. Not always so easy to get to that simple, instantaneous moment. But it is achievable for every single one of us here. And the more the one does it, the all does it as well. And so when we help ourselves, we help another. It's such a beautiful thing. The other thing I really wanted to share about this when I was reading it was the connection to the throat and the thymus and the immune system. Did it say that it was the heart chakra and no, it says the throat chakra, right? So I thought it was the heart chakra. That's where I felt it. But here it says the activation and energizing of the throat and brow, which I think is really cool because I sat down for today's show all right, Lapis, it's your show. You do it. You just tell me whatever you want me to say today. And that's how I rolled. I had no idea what was going to come out of my mouth until I turned the mic on and just started to talk. And how fun that Lapis played that game with me today in helping me to just open the throat and say whatever's going to come out. I like that. I love when we just kind of flow with whatever it is and not think too much about it and just allow it to be. Again, everything works out so simply and so easily when we just do that. And it's so fun for me to have these synchronicities that come up. And it's also very fun for me to share this information with you all because I know that it's helpful and that there are so many of you who want to learn more about crystals and how to work with them. And so every week we'll delve into one. That'll be fun. There's a ton of crystals. Let's see. This book is kind of like 1,000 pages or more. No, it's 700. It feels like 1,000. It's really thick. So I think that's it for me today, everyone. I'm going to leave you with a song by Volo called Dream State. Until next time, I love you all.
Also, before we cue up today's song, as a quick reminder, don't forget to download the Golden Key audio or ebook as my free gift to you at goldenkey.gift using the Golden Key code POSITIVEHEAD. And please, if you enjoy my gift, leave a positive review on Amazon so others can unlock their lives with the help of the Golden Key as well.